Hi, my name is Ashley Alvarez, and today I will be presenting my research titled The Cognitive and Linguistic Benefits of Bilingualism in Early Childhood. This study examines how bilingualism influenced children's early literacy, numeracy, attention, and executive function skills. Overall, this research explores whether bilingualism supports early academic achievement. I use a mixed method design that includes surveys from parents and bilingual adults, as well as an interview with a kindergarten EASL and EAP teacher. Overall, this finding shows that while some bilingual children experiment early challenges, especially in literacy or attention, these challenges are temporary, and over time, bilingual children demonstrate strong cognitive flexibility, problem-solving abilities, and cognitive academic resilience. To continue upon my early sayings, as classrooms become increasingly diverse, bilingualism is now a significant part of early childhood education. Historically, bilingualism was viewed as a disadvantage, but research now position it as a cognitive and academic asset. This study will focus on how bilingualism affects reading comprehension, literacy development, and executive functioning. The ultimate goal was to determine whether bilingual children show measurable advantage in early academic readiness and in early academic numeracy. The theoretical foundation of this study was rooted in research on cognitive development and bilingualism. Scholars such as Bilestock in 2018 argued that bilingualism enhanced attention control and mental flexibility, suggesting that managing two linguistic systems exercised the brain's executive functions. This enhancement has been linked to improvements in tasks requiring planning, problem-solving, and switching between cognitive demands. More recent studies, include those by Delta and College in 2024, support this perspective while also noting that bilingual children may show a slower vocabulary retrieval in each individual language due to divided linguistic exposure. But however, despite this temporary trade-off, these children consistently demonstrate a stronger executive functioning, including superior working memory, inhibition of control, and cognitive flexibility compared to monolingual peers. These findings provide a framework for understanding how bilingualism can influence early academic achievement, informing these research questions and shaping the hypothesis of this study regarding literacy, reading comprehension, and mathematical readiness. So now I'm going to explain the methodology of this study. This study used a mixed method, not experimental design, to explore bilingualism and early academic achievement. Quantitative data were collected through surveys completed by 30 parents of young children and 10 adults who reflected on their own bilingual schooling experiences. Additionally, a qualitative data came from observation, open-ended survey responses, and in-depth interview with one ASOL teacher. The quantitative portion focused on measurable outcomes such as literacy, numeracy, attention, and executive functioning, while the qualitative portion provided contextual insights into the classroom experiences and home learning practices. Combining these methods allowed me for a more comprehensive understanding of bilingual learners, such as their strengths, their challenges, and their developmental trajectories. So here's the results. As you can see, I have three tables, three charts. The first one is what languages does your child hear or speak at home. So mostly you can see as the green one. The pie chart is at what ages your child was exposed to a second language. And the last one talks about literacy, numeracy, skills, and attention. I will explain this one by one. So first, regarding home language exposure, over 40% of the children grew up hearing both English and Spanish. with many children exposed to second language before age 4. So as we can see in here, you can see that mostly were when bilingual were either speaking English or Spanish. Then we have both combined, and then we have one is English and Korean and one English and Portuguese. These findings are not that surprising because here in Dalton we have like many many people coming from different South American countries. I'm from Mexico even though, so like it was expected, and many of those children are growing up hearing both languages, so it was expected too to hear people saying that they start to teach kids before they go to kindergarten, so it was pretty obvious to get this. So this early exposure is significant for cognitive and linguistic development. So second, literacy and numeracy ratings indicate that numeracy tends to be the stronger skill area, with nearly half of the children scoring above average. Literacy skills, while slightly lower on average, were still with the expected range of early learners. Adult participants who grew up bilingual reflected on their experience noting advantage in following multi-step instructions, shifting between tasks, and solving problems creatively. These observations were supported by the kindergarten teacher, who reported that bilingual students often excel in math and science, while literacy skills may develop a bit later, consistent with research on vocabulary retrieval and executive function. So we still have this where we're seeing that literacy skills may develop later. This is consistent with later research, I mean, with other research that I made, but we can see that is not a thing that will stay. This will change and will be developed. The literacy skills will grow up as they grew up, as the kids grew up. So I also conduct a semi-structured interview with the kindergarten teacher. She provided rich practical insights. She observed that bilingual children often demonstrate a strong conceptual understanding and creativity, especially in problem-solving tasks. The students report well to visual support, hands-on learning, and scaffolding in both English and their home language. Although attention spans may appear to be shorter during English-only instructions, bilingual children exhibit notable cognitive flexibility, easily switching between tasks and demonstrating adaptable learning strategies. These strengths were consistent observed through the school year, highlighting the benefits of dual language support in the classrooms. So after seeing all the numerical and inside information, I want to get to the discussion. The discussion of this study highlights several important insights regarding bilingualism and early academic development. While bilingual children may experience slight delays in English literacy during the early years, these delays are temporary and do not reflect reduced cognitive ability. Instead, they are often the result of managing two language systems simultaneously, which can initially slow vocabulary retrieval in each language. Across the quantitative and qualitative data, bilingual children consistently demonstrate strong executive function skills, particularly in areas such as task switching, working memory, and problem solving. These findings align with Bilestock's 2018 research, which suggests that managing multiple languages enhances attentional control and cognitive flexibility. Adult participants' reflections on their bilingual upbringings further support this pattern, emphasizing long-term advantages in multitasking and adapting to complex instructions. Social cultural factors also play a significant role in shaping learning outcomes. Children exposed to rich homes, language environments, supportive bilingual practices, and dual language experiences showed higher engagement and conceptual understanding. The kindergarten teacher also reinforced these findings, noting that bilingual students often excel in math and science and using creative problem-solving strategies and respond well to visual or hands-on instructions. Overall, the discussion suggests that bilingualism offers both cognitive and academic benefits. These insights underscore the importance of instructional strategies that several bilingual children's strengths, including scaffolding, dual language programs, and cultural response teaching. While while early literacy delays may proper concerning or appear to be concerning, they are transient and are outweighed by long-term advantage in executive functioning and academic resilience. So having a bilingual children who has problems with literacy is not a problem. They will develop more vocabulary when they grow up. It's just a thing of being exposed to more being exposed to different learning. Just keep talking to them in both languages. So this study was not exempt of limitations. Several limitations should be considered when interpreting these findings. First, the study relied on relatively small sample size, just 30 people, which limit generalizability. Second, most data were self-report, including the possibility of bias in how participants evaluate literacy, numeracy, and attention. Additionally, the study did not differentiate between types of bilingualism, such as balanced versus emergent bilinguals, which may affect the development outcomes differently. Finally, the correlational design means that we cannot make casual claims about bilingualism direct housing these academics or cognitive benefits. So, in conclusion, this study demonstrates that bilingualism is a valuable cognitive and academic asset in early childhood education. Although bilingual learners may encounter initial challenges with English literacy or attention in the early grades, these challenges tend to diminish with ongoing exposure, practice, and instruction support. Over time, bilingual children show enhanced problem-solving abilities, superior executive function skills, and greater adaptability in learning environments compared to their monolingual peers. The findings also highlight the critical role of social-cultural context and home language practices in shaping academic outcomes. Children who receive consistent support in both languages at home and at school demonstrate not only stronger cognitive skills but also improved confidence, engagement, and resilience in learning. From an educational perspective, these results emphasize the importance of promoting bilingual development through evidence-based strategies. Dual language programs, scaffolding, visual and hands-on learning, and cultural responsive instruction can maximize bilingual learning strengths while supporting areas where temporary delays may occur. Ultimately, this study reinforced the notion that bilingualism is not a hindrance but a development advantage. With appropriate support, bilingual children can thrive academically, cognitively, and socially, preparing them for long-term success in increasing diverse and multilingual environments. So the last thing I want to show are the references I use. So I hope this presentation was to your liking, and bye-bye.